So we're taking a look at the new Acer Switch 10V. You'll notice that the design is similar to the 11V. So they've updated that, so this is much smaller and lighter than the 11V, but it doesn't have the Core M inside. This one is the Intel Atom X5 8300 CPU inside, which will give you a little bit of a GPU boost over the Bay Trail T versions. Not much of a difference in terms of CPU, but it does support 64-bit configurations with 4 gigs of RAM, which could make it quite interesting. Also interesting is the port setup on here. Here's the power. We've got USB-C here as well, so charging through a separate connector. I'm not sure if it will actually charge through USB-C as well. Of course, USB-C supports power input, but it's unknown whether that is supported here. Micro HDMI, headset, micro SD card. There's the other side. You've got your Windows button, volume rocker, and power button there. On the keyboard is full-size USB port. I'm not sure if that's USB 2 or USB 3, but it's good to see USB full-size port on that keyboard dock there. So let's take a look at the keyboards. I'm testing it live here and haven't had any practice on it yet. So it actually is looking pretty good out of the box. Actually, that's not too bad at all there. It's quite solid. The keyboard throw is okay, and everything seems to be working. Of course, different languages can have different layouts, but you've got a small combination of cursor keys here, and of course your brightness and volume buttons integrated into the cursor key area, which I quite like myself. Trackpad feels okay. There's actually a little bit of a cable issue here. It's actually stopping it lie flat. Trackpads cannot be tested in this sort of situation. It definitely needs long-term testing for the trackpad, but I'm sure that it's multi-touch here, although it might not be configured, and there certainly seems to be no major problems out of the box there. So the Full HD IPS screen looks pretty punchy actually. It looks like the brightness is pretty good. We're running full brightness there, and colours certainly seem to pop fairly well. Certainly on that Candy Crush Saga icon there, it seems to be very colourful. It's full IPS screen, zero air gap technology, so it actually feels and looks pretty good. That docks in very simply. It's a magnetic dock there, and the whole thing weighs in, I think, about 1.1 kilograms, and actually looks okay. This is plastic. There's some patterned plastic on here. Autofocus camera as on the Switch 11V, which is behind here, and screws on the underside of the keyboard sort of hint towards maybe hard drive versions with a hard drive in the keyboard, and the eMMC storage inside. This is not SATA storage like the 11V with Core M, so it's going to be a difference in terms of feeling as you use it, in terms of snappiness, in terms of fluidity and multitasking as well. This one has, how much RAM has this one got on it? We'll just have a quick look. The processor will support up to, I believe, 8 gigs of RAM actually, but this one has 2 gigs of RAM installed. 64-bit Windows operating system. So that's pretty nice. That's the Acer Switch 10V, which is new here at IFA 2015. It's going to be a low-cost 2-in-1, obviously, to replace the original Switch 10. But remember, they have the Switch 10E, which is their very low-cost model, which is around the $250 to $290 mark already for sale in the market. So expect this one to be a $300 to $350, up to $400, $450, depending on hard drive and RAM versions, but could be pretty interesting, especially if there's an X7 version. If there's an Atom X7 version with 4 gigs of RAM, could make it very productive little 2-in-1. Acer Switch 10V at IFA 2015. Thanks for watching.